Hello, and welcome to Electro Nerds Academy. In this video, we'll be controlling a DC motor using the TB6612FNG motor driver with commands sent through the serial monitor. In previous videos, we implemented the L293D and L298N motor drivers with Arduino. These drivers are reliable and widely used in many projects. However, they have a major downside. They use bipolar junction transistors, BJTs, for switching in H-bridge circuits. The issue with BJTs is their on-state voltage drop, which dissipates as heat, resulting in energy loss. The TB6612FNG, on the other hand, uses MOSFETs instead of BJTs. MOSFET stands for metal oxide semiconductor field effect transistor, and these transistors have an almost negligible voltage drop, meaning nearly all the voltage from the power supply reaches the motor without wasting energy. Let's take a look at the TB6612FNG motor driver. It is a dual-channel H-bridge driver with a very similar pin configuration to the L298N, but it's much smaller in size and doesn't require a large heatsink like the L298N. This driver can handle motor voltages between 4.5 volts and 13.5 volts, supports a continuous current of 1.2 amps, and can peak at 3.2 amps. This module has 16 pins. The VM pin is used to supply power to the motors, while there are 3 ground pins. The VCC pin connects to the logic supply voltage, typically 5 volts. The module features direction control pins and a PWM pin for each channel. AI1 and AI2 control motor A, while BI1 and BI2 control motor B. The PWMA and PWMB pins supply the PWM signals for motor speed control. Motor A is connected to pins A01 and A02, and motor B is connected to pins B01 and B02. The module also has a standby pin that must be pulled high for the module to work. Otherwise, it remains disabled. Let's connect this module to our Arduino. We start by connecting the external power supply of 5 volts for driving the motors to the VM and GND pins. Next, we connect the VCC and standby pins to the 5-volt pin of the Arduino. Then we connect the PWMA pin to pin 10, AI1 to pin 9, AI2 to pin 8, BI1 to pin 7, BI2 to pin 6, and PWMB to pin 5. Motor A is connected to pins A01 and A2, and motor B is connected to pins B01 and B02. The working principle of this module is similar to the L298N. When both input pins, AI1 and AI2, or BI1 and BI2, are low, the motor doesn't spin. When both are high, the motor still doesn't spin. To make the motor rotate, one input pin must be high while the other is low. Reversing these signals changes the motor's rotation direction. Speed is controlled by varying the PWM signal on the PWMA and PWMB pins, which toggles the H-bridge driver on and off, creating the desired average voltage. Now, let's write the code to control the DC motor via the serial monitor. First, we declare 3 integer variables, PWMA, AI1, and AI2, to store the PWM and control input pins for motor A. Then we declare 3 more variables, PWMB, BI1, and BI2, to store the PWM and control input pins for motor B. We also declare a char variable named command to store the incoming bytes from the serial monitor, and a string variable named direction to store the motor's spinning direction. In the setup function, we initialize serial communication with a baud rate of 9600 using serial.begin 9600. This allows us to send and receive data from the serial monitor. Next, we use pin mode to set all motor control and PWM pins as outputs. We then initialize the control inputs for both motors to low using the digital write function, ensuring that neither motor spins at the start. Similarly, we set the PWM duty cycle to 0 by writing a PWM value of 0 to the respective PWM pins using the analog write function. In the loop function, we first check if there is any data available in the serial receive buffer by using the serial.available function. If the function returns a value greater than 0, it means there is incoming data. We then read this incoming data using the serial.read function and store it in the command variable. If the received command is F, which stands for forward, we set AI1 to low and AI2 to high for motor A, and BI1 to low and BI2 to high for motor B. This configuration ensures that both motors spin in the forward direction. Next, we set the direction variable to forward. We then reset the command variable to prevent accidentally triggering the same action again in the next loop iteration. If the command is R, which stands for reverse, we reverse the polarity of the inputs for both motors. We set AI1 to high and AI2 to low for motor A, and BI1 to high and BI2 to low for motor B. This causes the motors to rotate in the reverse direction. Next, we set the direction variable to reverse, and once again, reset the command variable. If the command is S, which stands for stop, we set AI1, AI2, BI1, and BI2 to low, stopping both motors by cutting off the inputs. Afterward, we reset the command variable. Next, we introduce speed control using PWM. If the received command is L, which represents low speed, we send a PWM value of 50 to the PWM-A and PWM-B pins. This reduces the motor speed. Since we're using small 5-volt motors, our motors do spin at this low PWM value. However, if the motors you are using don't spin at this low PWM value, increasing the value slightly should get them moving. If the command is M, for medium speed, we send a PWM value of 127, which is roughly half of the maximum PWM value of 255. This makes the motors spin at a medium speed. Finally, if the command is H, for high speed, we send the maximum PWM value of 255 to the PWM-A and PWM-B pins. This makes the motors spin at full speed. Now, let's add a safety feature to our code. The idea is to avoid damaging the motor or driver by suddenly reversing direction. If the motor is currently spinning forward and we send the reverse command, or vice versa, the abrupt change could cause harm. To prevent this, whenever the command is either F, forward, or R, reverse, and the motor is spinning in the opposite direction, we want the motor to stop briefly before changing direction. To achieve this, we need to add an if statement that checks if the motor is running forward and the received command is for reverse, or if the motor is running in reverse and the received command is for forward. In this case, we stop the motors by sending a low signal to all input control pins. Add a small delay of 500 milliseconds, and then proceed to change the direction. After uploading this code, we can open the serial monitor and send various commands. For example, at the start, the motors will be stationary, so we send the letter L in the serial monitor to set the motor speed to low. However, the motor will still not rotate because we need to specify the direction. To do this, we send the letter F to rotate the motor in the forward direction. Now, the motor will spin at low speed in the forward direction. Next, let's increase the speed by first sending the letter M for medium speed, followed by the letter H for high speed. You'll notice that the motor's speed increases. Now, to reverse the direction of rotation, we send the letter R for reverse. The motor will stop spinning in the forward direction, and after a delay of 500 milliseconds, it will begin spinning in reverse. Finally, we can stop the motors at any time by sending the letter S. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching. We hope you found it helpful. Stay tuned for more videos, and we'll see you in the next one.